Hello there, how are you? Sambo On Saturday, and it's great to be back with a very special person in the town, one that I've sort of grown up with over the years. A very special welcome to Tony Harnett here from the Kingsford Hotel in the main street of Gawler. So a very special welcome to you, Tony.
Thank you very much, Brian. It's great to be here.
That's great. Now, Tony, I would say that the last few months you don't really want to think much about, because you've been through a hell of a lot like other businesses have in our community. But the Harnett name is one of very much importance and very much at my heart too, with your father, Gil Harnett, and mother, and the Harnett family, and with what you have done when taking over the hotel and moving it into a business that was the place to go, and certainly a very popular hotel in Gawler. So can you tell us a little bit about the Harnett family and you moving into the hotel business?
Well, it's a long story, Brian. It started in 1955 when my dad, Gil, moved to Gawler as a young pharmacist, and got the opportunity to buy the pharmacy business with his partner Humphrey George, and they did that in 1959 and ran the business together for 50 years, selling up in 2009. Along the way, in 1996 they bought the Kingsford Hotel, and in 1999 I got involved as the licensee, and I've been there now with my wife Josie for the last 20 years in partnership with the George family. So and my dad, of course. So it's a long involvement in business, I guess, spanning 65 years. Yep. In Gawler.
No doubt about it. You missed one little point there about your wonderful father being a great mayor of this town.
Yes, he became mayor in 1978 and finished up in 1989 when he became an alderman for a couple of years. So he had a long involvement with council, and 11 years as mayor, and he enjoyed it a lot.
No, that's great. And you mentioned Humphrey George. The Harnett and George name is certainly one that will ring true for many, many years to come in what they did. I know when I was involved with the original Chamber of Commerce and with Humphrey, and always Gil and Humphrey would always be involved in looking to better businesses in the town so that we could build the town up as a place to come and visit and to shop in the town itself. Now, Tony, we've been through a fair bit of hard times, as I said, over the last 6 months, which we want to try and forget. But how has it affected your business?
Well, the shutdown affected us dramatically, Brian. I mean, luckily, we were able to maintain our bottle shop business, but at the end of the day, it's a small percentage of our business with a small group of staff. Most of our staff were stood down when we had to close down our bistro and our bars and our gaming room, and so it affected at least 30 of our employees very adversely. And it's just been a very tough period. The JobKeeper program, though, got to us fairly quickly after we were closed, and we were most appreciative to be able to take advantage of that. So the majority of our employees were moved into the JobKeeper program, and that's kept everyone whole for the period, and also enabled us to involve them in upgrading the hotel. So I can tell you, I've got some barmen and some chefs who are. At times I thought they're better painters than cooks and bar people. They've done a remarkable job and put a lot of effort into upgrading the appearance of the hotel. So we had a gigantic clean out, and so it's been a great result.
Ah, that's great, and certainly it's a very sad time when you have to stand down staff, because as with your father Gil and Humphrey, it was always a policy to try and employ local people, and I know that you carried that on, and your staff were so dedicated to serving the community and being local people. So it's very sad, and hopefully when things come back, they'll all maybe come back in, or some may not be able to come back into the line. But you were mentioning about the bottle shop, and in recent years, there's a lot of the national businesses have been coming into our community, and certainly one that that comes to mind is just down the road from you, a large franchise and of Dan Murphy's, affecting your bottle department area, or the dedication of local people and the service you give may well have still kept them on?
Oh, look, Brian, it's certainly had a significant impact, and you can't get away from it. It's a huge store, and basically right next door to us. But what's kept us in business, and we've still got a good business with our Thirsty Camel franchise there, is basically customer service.
Yep.
And drive-through service. So we've still got a large proportion of our customers who'll drive through our bottle shop, and they're happy to sit in their car and have service, delivered straight to the back seat. And it's quick and easy for them, and so we've still hung on to that part of the trade, and it's been good for us, and we've still got a reasonable business, as I say.
I think you've answered it exactly as I have found with people that have spoken to me. A very good friend of mine that I go away quite often with, Hans Toyakov, is my son's father-in-law, and quite often when we'll be sitting around the campfire up in the bush having a beer, and I say, oh yeah, you got a carton there? He said, yep. He said, I always go into the Kingsford beforehand. And I said, oh, that's interesting. Great to see you staying there with the Kingsford where you all get your... He said it's because of the service and the personal way that they look after him. And I think that's what it's all about in businesses in Gawler, is if that's lost, then it certainly people move away to some of these big franchises, which is not good for, in lots of cases, our community. And Tony, you're very involved, as you have been all the years, and I've certainly been at a football match and heard you edging on the players there, and with sponsorship, and also heavily involved with promoting the football and cricket and netball teams in the area. I believe Josie used to play a fair bit too. Am I wrong there?
Oh, a long time ago,
Brian.
Brian.
Well, that's all right. Don't give her that away. But your involvement in supporting, it's a credit to you. So would you like to say something about that involvement that you've had?
Oh, well, Brian, if you're a local hotel in a town like Gawler, you've just got to get involved in the community and back the community, and especially if you expect that community to support you. So, look, we're involved in sponsorship, as you said, with all the football clubs, some of the netball clubs, the racing club, and that's important to us. And, of course, in return, we get a fair bit of support from the members of those clubs. So I find it works pretty well.
Yep, no, that's great. And in noticing the way that Gawler is growing, I mean, my involvement with the local council now again, it's interesting to note the new subdivisions, the new developments of places like Gawler Green and the homemaker centres, and all those that are happening in the town, and our population now, which was always around about 16,000, 17,000, is now 22,000. But on the last report from the Business Development Board, we cater for about 80,000 people a day. Now, for a town like Gawler, which is our small little, the best of town and country town, but once you would have asked this too to your customers, how are you, where you're from? And it's amazing where those people come from that come into your businesses. Oh,
that's true, Brian. We do cater for a large area, much larger than the Gawler township itself. But boy, we need to. There's 9 pubs in town, Brian, and we need that population to grow as quickly as we can. It's
that was my next question, is that you are one of 9 pubs in the town, and have you noticed that they've become competitive to you now, or it's just been the run of the mill, or every now and then you're looking for a bit of an edge over the others?
Oh, you always got to look for an edge. But look, it is a very competitive town from a hotel point of view.
Yep.
And but I think our community is well served by that. I mean, food prices and drink prices are pretty reasonable, and the service levels are high.
Yep. No, that's great. And what about, is there other than the hotel, is there a favourite business of yours that maybe you and Josie would say that's the place I like to shop or be involved with?
Oh, look, we tend to do a lot of our shopping at spread around the supermarkets, I suppose. We like to support Foodland, or Drake's as it is now, and so we tend to go there a bit, get our hair cut locally, and of course we've got we get our cars serviced in the main street. Yeah, look, all good businesses. We try and spread it around, Brian.
Yep, no, that's right. You mentioned Foodland and now Drake's, but Mike Johnson was a real legend in our town, and working in conjunction with your father and Humphrey, and without a doubt, when I look back at my time being involved with businesses in the town, and that there's certain icons that stand out, but with the one thing in mind, as you and Josie are doing now, is looking at it as your town, your involvement, and doing the best by the customers that come there. So, Tony, thank you so much for today, for coming here, and most importantly, for everyone that's out there and has a look at this on Sambo on Saturday, and that support your local businesses, support the Kingsford Hotel, and I'm sure that when we come out of this, everything will still be the best of town and country.
Thank you very much, Brian.
No worries,
It's a pleasure.
Tony.